showing me. But this is what's comfortable and works for me. I think other people kind of hold it like this and then like this. It doesn't really work. It's not really comfortable for me. But like, this is what works. This is what works for me. So you gotta find, the way that works for you and go from there. And I know this is gonna be hard, but as you're crafting, don't get frustrated if your first couple of things don't turn out the way you want them to. It is what it is. I mean, a lot of my beginning hoodies started out as coasters. My attempts at blankets and what have you were dog blankets. Washcloths were, they're not all, now, they're not all square. Some of them are just long rectangles. I think this is going to be more like a hand towel. This one, it's on the small side, but it's perfect for wiping down my iPad and, my cell phone. This, I don't know what this is, but I guess if I knew more what I was doing, I could stuff this with, stuffing and try to make something that way, catnip, make it a cat toy. This is the first little purse I've made. So don't get mad if your crochet attempts don't actually turn out the way you want them to. This was, I don't know what this was. It's probably the beginnings of a coaster. Apparently my cat's been on it. But, when you're starting out, don't get mad at it. Just kind of, be patient with it. It'll work out. If you notice a mistake early enough and it bugs you to the point you got to fix it, fix it. If you're the kind of person who's like, oh, well, it gives my project character, leave it in, see how it turns out. And think about it this way. If it doesn't turn out the way you like it, small or big, you can always donate it to an animal shelter. Because they could use a washcloth. They could use the washcloth, the blanket attempt for the animals. So, or if you've got pets, just because it doesn't turn out the way you want it to doesn't mean you're a failure. You can turn it into something. I made cat toys. Lots of them. Because I didn't know what I was doing. And they turn into cat toys. So that's what it is. Some of them were long and I'd mess up and accidentally tie a knot in the yarn while I was trying to untangle something. Well, that was a bookmark. I didn't get mad and frustrated at my mistakes. Now, if I'm trying to actually make something for somebody else, I do get a little frustrated if it doesn't turn out as nice as I'd like to see it. But then I've given stuff to friends who I thought the project didn't look as well as I would have liked it. But they were, grateful to have received it. I want at the beginning of next year, give or take, I want to start watching how to make toys, or little stuffed toys. You know, get better at reading patterns. Well, that's going to have to happen if I want to make toys. But like I said, if it doesn't turn out the way I think it should, I could take it to my local humane society and give it to them. Maybe even just take it, go to local where the homeless encampments are, give stuff to the people for their pets. Just because it doesn't turn out the way I want it doesn't mean I can't have it useful for something. And that's for stuff that it's meant for me. If it doesn't turn out the way I want it for me, then I'll. But if it's for somebody else, I definitely want to try my best to make sure it stays as nice as possible. So like this blanket for my friend, I'll show you in a second. I got stitch markers on each end, and I move them every time I start a new row, because I'm trying my best to keep it as even. I've made mistakes. I've lost. You can see I lost right here. I didn't catch that last stitch. Just coming here, I lost a stitch. And then I've pretty much been even. But that happens. I'm not gonna I'm 33 rows in. I'm not gonna go and fix it, because I didn't notice till I was past that area, the mistakes. But once I put the edge on, you're not gonna, unless you really know what you're looking for, you're not gonna know there was a mistake there. Once I add the edge and wash it, it'll work itself how it's supposed to. So see, I just started a new row. I moved my stitch marker. Turn my project around. And I'm gonna be measuring it against this as well, so when I'm done, it's a throw blanket. And then I'm using the notes on my phone to keep track as well. So I'm on row, 34, just starting it. So then each row is 160, give or take a few stitches long. So if I can get this at least 100 rows long, I think that would be a very nice throw blanket. So And while I'd never ask this of anybody, if I ever make where I get donations or whatever, please know that I will actually, I would, not going to ask for it, but if I get them, it would go back to going into my stream. Right now I'm on my iPad. Maybe down as my stream gets better and picks up, if I'm ever making money off of it, which right now I'm just using ads because I don't care. But if it ever works out where I do make money, I wouldn't mind buying myself a decent laptop for streaming on. I'd use it to go back into, buy yarn for projects. Maybe down the road, because I think it's either June or July is my affiliate anniversary. I get, and make stuff and send it, to people. But like I said, that's something to look at down the line. I'm not, whatever. Like I said, it's not important to me one way or other. I'm just crocheting and sharing it because it's fun. And I'd hope that other people, like my friend Moon, who's wanting to pick it up, that my streams could be beneficial to somebody. Whether it's entertainment purpose, learning how to crochet, it is what it is. Like I said, nobody has to donate. Nobody has to do any of that stuff. You're sitting around and watching me play with yarn is all the support I'd ever ask for from anybody. I know finances or whatever. So people just, like I said, just sticking around, watching me play with yarn, dealing with the ad breaks that happen once an hour for 3 minutes. It is what it is. So, when I start making toys and stuff, I want my VODs to be something I can go back and watch and see and learn from. That's what a lot of this is I want to be able to go back and watch and see how far I've come up.